Hello students, as we have gone through five kingdom system of classification, we will continue with science 2 class, classification of plants. Just to revise, we have divided living organisms into five groups. One was prokaryotes. If you remember this, you can recollect and connect back to the earlier video. Second is the eukaryotes, those who are having a proper nucleus and proper cell wall, and in that we have unicellular and multicellular. Under multicellular, we are going to talk about those organisms which are having a cell wall, and in that we have autotrophs which have a cell wall made up of cellulose, and they are classified under kingdom Plantae. So henceforth we are going to talk about only plant kingdom because the chapter is about classification of plants. So in which group does plant kingdom belongs to? It is under eukaryotes, it is multicellular, it is autotrophic, can prepare their own food, and having a cell wall made up of cellulose. So because of this criteria, it is included under kingdom Plantae. So I'll start from here, kingdom Plantae, as you can see here. Can you tell? They're asking some questions. Which are the special cell organelles that differentiate plant cells from animal cells? So what is the major answer for this? What is that plant cell have and the animal cell do not have? So answer for this, if many of you would be eager to answer, but we know we are having a recorded class here. So the answer for this is plant cells have something called as chloroplast, because of which they can prepare their own food, and therefore it makes them different from animal cells. Animal cells cannot prepare their own food because they do not have a chloroplast. So answer for this is, what is the special organelle in the plant cell? We can write the special organelle is the chloroplast. Then we come down, what is written down about the plant kingdom. What is the characteristics of plant kingdom? The group of autotrophic living organism. Autotrophic means what? They can prepare their own food. They have eukaryotic cell. We already talked about this. Eukaryotic means proper cell wall, proper nucleus and well-defined organelles. They have a cell wall in this group of plants. Plants become autotrophic as they can perform photosynthesis and prepare their own food, because they have a chloroplast, and inside the chloroplast they have a green color pigment called as chlorophyll. Living organisms of kingdom Plantae are the main source of food for all living organisms, and that's why they are very, very important for us. If plants are not there, no human beings can survive, and therefore plant kingdom is very important for us, and that's why we should be knowing how they are going to get classified. So before going into the actual classification of the chapter, we need to understand what is the criteria, or on what basis do we classify the plants into different groups. So here I have marked certain points. If you have a textbook, you can mark in your textbook also, or you can write it down in your notes also, or in your books also. So like every time we think about, like you are in 9th standard now, on what basis we have put you in 9th standard? There are certain criteria that you have cleared certain exams, your studying level is this much, that's why you're in 9th standards. Similarly, to classify the plants, we need to follow certain basic rules and regulations or criteria. That is what is given in this paragraph. As you can see here, the first criteria used for the classification of plant is whether there is a presence or absence of organ is the first criteria. Now you will say that where does plants have an organ? Now when we are talking about organs here, we are talking about having root, stem and leaves. So there are certain plants who do not have a root, stem and leaves, and there are certain plants who have proper root, stem and leaves. So the first criteria is whether the organ is present or not. Second criteria is whether there is a presence or absence of conducting tissue. Now what is conducting tissue? It is something called as xylem and phloem. Xylem is supposed to take water from one part of the plant to another part of the plant, and phloem is supposed to take food from one part of the plant to another part of the plant. So those who are having conducting tissue would be one group, those who are not having conducting tissue would be the second group. So that is the second criteria. Third criteria, do the plants bear seeds? Now you will see many plants which are there in the garden, especially those growing on the ground like grasses or fern plant. You will never see seeds on them. So this is one criteria, whether whether the plants are going to have a seed or whether they are not going to have a seed. Even if seed is present, now seed can be inside the fruit or seed can be outside the fruit. So fourth criteria is what? Whether the seed is inside the fruit or whether the seed is outside the fruit. And fifth criteria, if seed is there, whether seed is one single part or I can divide it into two parts. That is, whether it is made up of one cotyledons or whether it is made up of two cotyledons. And as you go higher in the classification, we also classify the plants based upon whether they have a flower, fruit and seeds. So those who are having proper flower, fruit and seeds, they are called phanerogams. And those who do not have proper flower, fruits and seeds, they are called as cryptogams here. So those who are flower, fruits and seeds, plants are classified into cryptogams and phanerogams. Depending upon whether seeds are enclosed within a fruit, they are or not. Phanerogams are further classified into gymnosperm and angiosperm. We'll talk about this in details. But right now, what are the criteria used? Whether the organs are present or not, root, stem and leaves are present or not, whether xylem and phloem is present or not, whether there is a seed. If there is a seed, whether the seed is made up of one cotyledon or two cotyledon, whether the seed is inside the fruit or outside the fruit. So basically we divide the plant kingdom into two major groups. One is called phanerogams and the other is called cryptogams. Here they are giving us some introduction to the scientist. In 1883, Eckler, a botanist, classified kingdom Plantae into two subkingdoms. As a result, two subkingdoms, cryptogams and phanerogams, were considered as a part of classification. Cryptogams, as I said, those plants which do not have proper root, stem and leaves, and phanerogams are those which have proper root, stem, leaves, flower, fruit and seed. So everything is present in phanerogams, but no proper structure is present in cryptogams, no seeds, no flowers present in cryptogams. So just to take you to this chart which is there on page number 79. So broadly we will classify the plants into kingdom Plantae, which is divided into cryptogams and phanerogams. Cryptogams are non-flowering or they do not have flowers and seeds, whereas phanerogams have flowers and seeds. Cryptogams are further classified into Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta, whereas phanerogams are further classified into gymnosperm, where seeds are not inside the fruit, angiosperm, where seeds are inside the fruit. Since they have a seed, whether the seed will have two parts, so it will be called as dicotyledon. If the seed is having one part, it will be called as monocotyledon. So major classification of kingdom Plantae: cryptogams, phanerogams. Under cryptogams, we have Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta. Under phanerogams, we have gymnosperm, angiosperms, and angiosperms are further classified into dicotyledons and monocotyledons. So this gives you an overview about the plant classification. And if you are able to digest this much part and you are able to understand this much part, in the next lecture when we meet, we are going to straight away start with cryptogams, those plants which are not going to have fruit, flowers and seeds, and what are their category and what is the characteristics of each category, that is Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. Once you watch this video, I'll give you some questions to be answered after the video is done. So please keep on reading the textbook and continue the learning. In case you have any doubts, as I said earlier also, you are free to ask me on a personal chat. Till then, bye, take care.